There are definitely many places in the fish keeping world that are worth seeing, and what I'm gonna be showing you guys today is definitely one of my favorite ones. In today's episode of the Treasures of Fishkeeping, we'll be discovering a place that is super close to my heart. This time we'll be visiting Denmark, which is a country that I called home for several years, and even though I'm not living here anymore, Denmark will still have a very special place in my heart. What I absolutely love about it here is the nature. For me, being not only fish keeping enthusiast but also fisherman and diver, this place was a paradise on earth, and people here are very heartwarming and welcoming as well, and you'll see that very soon. I'm really glad that I got a permission to film and document the place that I had the privilege of calling my local fish store for several years, and I also do believe it is one of the most beautiful and unique fish stores in the world, and I can't wait to present you guys Unimati. Unimati's fish store offering great variety of fish, plants, hardscape, aquariums, and also very unique background filtration systems that this store got famous for. What I absolutely love here is that all the aquariums are scaped and planted, presenting the fish more natural environment and also inspiring people at the same time. But instead of me talking about it, I'm glad that Sarah, very talented aquascaper that worked here, agreed to take us around.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know what this is Unimati. This is where I work. I've just finished work and Pat's here to take us around the store, film things, and we'll see what we can find. We have a lot of things out and about just to make it easy for people to see what's where. So you can come in here, you can see the different soil types. We've got loads of stuff. We've got a lot more stock over the last few weeks. So we've got a bit of everything really. This is, we're informally calling it our blackwater area. So we've got some quite cool things. We've got some blackwater extracts and things. So we've got all kinds of weird and wonderful things for shrimps.
Yeah, so this is mostly hardscape for shrimps, huh?
Exactly. Some of it will also add tannins, and some of it smells amazing. Really, really good. We've all spent quite a while sniffing some of these. This is the area I like. I like this area a bit more. All the glassware and things.
Yeah, you're aquascaper, so.
Yeah, exactly. We've got some tropical things as well. Technical stuff for aquascaping.
Yeah.
All the glassware, all the lights, and we've got some more fertiliser down here as well that we don't have in the other parts, which is meant to be aimed at aquascapers, so it's meant to be highly concentrated.
Okay.
So you don't need to increase the dose by 2-3 times the recommended amounts, like you do with a lot of other brands. So I actually cleaned the windows a few weeks ago, which is quite useful.
Nice side note.
Exact side note.
So we have better lighting for filming, huh?
Exactly, exactly. We've got more fish food over here and more technical things, heaters and things. Technical stuff, always good. Lots of little fittings and things. And then from here, on the other side of the room, we've got the more aquascaping things. Rocks and stones, some aquarium setup escapes. And then we go into the fish section.
The most exciting one, huh?
Exactly, past our little, what I always think as being like a little holiday tiki bar. Fish in here, they tend to breed quite regularly, which is a lot of fun. They dig out nests underneath.
That's cool.
Really, really cool. They lay eggs on the background, then the babies, when they hatch, are brought into the nests in the bottom.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. We're hoping these ones will breed soon. And the fish in these tanks are not for sale, these are the store fish.
That's really cool.
Yeah, all of the owner used to have a different aquarium store, and there was a fire in the store. And a lot of the tanks burst, which is the only thing that stopped the entire store burning down completely.
Oh.
And a lot of the fish in here that are not for sale are ones that were in the old store that survived.
Oh, that's
that you
amazing.
brought over, which is really cool. So you can see on these fish, like this one here is quite black. It's the aquarium these were in, the top was covered with soot, and a lot of the fish have got injuries from the fire, so they've got soot staining that's never gone away, they've got damage to their eyes and things. But these are all the fish that survived in here, some in here as well. and the big tank was actually in the old store, and that survived the fire completely.
So this one survived the fire?
Yeah, with damage.
Okay. That's a really cool story.
It is quite cool, I thought the same thing.
It's also a beautiful tank to walk into.
It is.
That's the first thing when you come to the store, huh?
It is, and the fish are quite social here as well. So, and we've got this poor guy over here. Its mate died a few months ago, and it spent a few weeks being really depressed. Its fins were clamped, it would swim up against the wall, have its good eye in, and it would just hang there. But it's coming out again now, it's interacting. But it's probably going to slowly starve itself to death and waste away.
That's so sad.
It's so sad. It's about 14 years old as well.
14 years old?
14.
That's Ole has him from the beginning.
Yes.
That's so cool.
But afterwards, when we were interacting with it, it would swim around and go hide with its head by a rock or by a wall, and poor guy. And we've also got the cool hardscape here as well.
That's really, really cool.
And then we have nano tanks, well, nano fish, I should say, over here. Loads of lovely fish in here, and plants, and anything that's in the tanks is for sale. So if it's hardscape or stones, you can buy it. More fish. I love the backgrounds we have in here as well.
Yeah, they're super cool. What kind of backgrounds are those?
Rockzoid. Rockzoid, I should say. I mean, you can see in these tanks, we've got plants in the tanks where the fish won't eat them. So it's a lot more natural for them.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of the fish that are here actually breed and show more natural behaviour. It's a bit noisier in here because we've got some tubs back here. This is where we keep a lot of the Bettas because it's a bit warmer. We have this one fish here, and every time I see this fish, I always think she's dead because she lies on the floor of the tank. And the amount of water tests we've all run on this tank, and I've ended up coming to the conclusion that she just likes to camouflage herself. Yeah. But we panic all the time with her.
Before moving any further, I just wanted to point out the space and scapes these Bettas have. You can see how big the show tanks are, presenting enough space, filtration, and also natural environment for Bettas they have for sale, and even though they have smaller selection because of it, I cannot be happier to see this comparing the cruelty of selling Bettas in small cups, as we can see in many aquarium stores. Also beautiful blacktoes in there.
Yeah.
And I can also see some shrimps here.
We do. We have, so that would be this one here, some Nano shrimps in here. The Manos go in to clean the back filters. They pull all the BBA off and dump it on the bottom so we can then siphon it out, which is great. And then we move the Manos around as needed.
So you guys are moving it between the tanks?
Between the tanks, yeah. And when we get fish orders in, we often have to move fish from different aquariums as well.
Okay.
So there's a lot of fish movement when it's quiet in here. Another room. Again, smaller fish. We've got some guppies in here as well, more common colours in here. We've got these cool little freshwater filter feeding shrimp in here.
Okay.
A bit like the ones you get in marine tanks, where they put the claws up and waft. These are all work in progress at the moment. So these are going to be basically completely rescaped, and we're going to try and use them to breed up more shrimp stocks.
Okay, so you will be breeding your own shrimps?
Yes, we breed some of our own already, but we want to breed a bit more of our own.
Okay.
Just because we sell out so fast.
Yeah.
They're quite often gone within a week of them arriving.
Oh, that's really quick.
Really fast.
Really, really fast.
And we just can't keep up with the amount of orders.
Okay.
It's great for the store.
Yeah, that's great for the store.
And here we've got a lot of angelfish and gouramis.
More common fish, huh?
More common fish. And fish that like it a little bit warmer than in the main section. Down here, we're really hoping that these guys will start breeding So hopefully they'll end up breeding and making a nest in there, and then we'll see the parents poking their heads out of the nest. That'll be a lot of fun.
That would be definitely fun.
Yeah. And then these guys, the hair-offs, I'm not sure if they've got babies at the moment, but they're basically breeding constantly right now because it's spring. And the amount of fish that are breeding in the store since we got into March,
Yeah.
it seems to be it's a different type of fish every week, sometimes more than one. So more aquariums. Once you go to this section, fish all start to get bigger as you go around. So there is actually a fairly good theme. So the far end is where all the really big fish are. And we've just left the area with the medium fish, and the fish that are a bit more unusual. And now we're into more medium, they get bigger and bigger. And loads of plants.
Yeah, I can see that there's a lot of plants. Are they all from Tropica, or are you guys having different suppliers?
We've got different suppliers. It's mainly Tropica and Aquaflora.
Okay.
And then we've got plants from different suppliers in the same tank as well. And we've got a lot of variations of the same plant. I think we have 4 or 5 types of Anubias Bettas in different sizes, from the large going all the way down to the smaller ones, which is fun. And we get a lot of rare plants as well. A lot of rare plants. We've got things like, we have Atlantis that I think we've sold out of again, which is Ludwigia Atlantis. So it's stripy, it's a variegated plant. That one sells out really fast. That's just gone. And then we've had, do we still have it? We have Red Diamond at the moment, Echinodorus Red Diamond. That can be quite hard to get hold of. Oh, we have Atlantis over here now. Okay, this must be new. I think this came in last week. These guys have been breeding. These ones here. The babies are held in the mouth. It's a mouth brooder. So
really cool.
You can see this one at the front looks like it's got, that one might have fry in its mouth. It looks like there's something with eyeballs inside its mouth.
Beautiful.
And we've got the good old in vitro fridge.
Yeah.
We sell a lot of in vitro plants.
Definitely. No algae, no snails, huh?
Exactly. I love that.
Can go wrong with that.
You can't. You can't. So more fish going around. These guys are always good fun to see.
Yeah.
When they come out. Massive fish.
Beautiful.
They are. These ones were also in the fire.
So they're also not for sale?
No. No. One of these ones might be actually. I think these are. Yes, these are. So I think these were in the fire at least.
Oh, okay.
No. I don't think these ones were actually. They're in too good condition. As a general rule, you can tell which ones were because they'll have issues with their fins. There's one in, I think it's this aquarium, that has a stumpy fin. It's in one of these, but we can find that one later. Happy little fish, but stumpy fin on one side and a blind eye on the other. So I guess the back room?
Yeah.
This is where it gets really good. So a little bit of inspiration just to get you going.
Amazing.
Yeah. And we keep our shrimp in here.
Oh, so this is the shrimp rack.
This is the shrimp rack because it gets too hot in the main store. The main store is normally between 25 and 29 degrees. And in here it's a lot cooler. In here it's only 22.
Only?
Only 22 degrees.
Okay. That's amazing for shrimps.
It is, yeah. And I think we've basically sold out of everything. Again. A little bit of Infosora in this tank at the moment, but that will clear up in a few days or weeks.
So not that many shrimps in right now?
No, not many at all. We have lots of black shrimp, which is just an Eocarina dividi. They sell quite well, but it depends on the soil people have, because if you have dark soil, then you lose the shrimp.
Yeah.
And then the soil section.
A lot of soils.
A lot of soils in different colours as well. because it's fun to have different colours.
Yeah.
And we have the sand as well, the more natural type and the more artificial.
Mm-hmm.
And then more shrimp things because we're in a shrimp room.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to have shrimp things. More fish food.
Yeah.
A little bit more of the fertiliser and the technical things.
Mm-hmm.
And our tubing as well.
Oh yeah.
Always good fun. And of course you need to measure the tubing.
Very useful.
Very useful. And it's quite good fun cutting the tubing as well.
Yeah.
Filter media. Lots of different types. And then we go into the really, really fun stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely for aquascaper, huh?
Definitely.
A lot of wood.
I could spend a lot of money here, even working here. I can be a bad influence on the customers as well. Because they'll be there with a little rock and I'll go, no, get something bigger. I go, how big's your aquarium? They'll say 6 litres. I go, put down your stick. Look at the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not many aquarium shops have driftwood on the ceiling.
No, no. But we're so desperate for space and there's things on the walls everywhere.
That is really, really cool.
It is cool. And in normal times we also have tea and coffee for the customers.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to stop that because of COVID, which is a pity.
Yeah.
But these ones are all what you see is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
So you buy them directly from the web store, and there's little tags on them saying what they are. So this one is a Congo small, number 7.
Okay. So you have pictures of every single one of them?
All the ones that are hanging up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we've got loads of different types of wood here. Some wood float, some sink, some leaches tannin, some doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And we have all the different types of wood are actually underwater in the aquariums so that people can see what they look like underwater.
Okay.
And all the types of rock as well. And more dojos. We've got dojos everywhere with this hardscape. So, and we also have synthetic, the fiberglass stuff as well,
Mm-hmm.
which is quite interesting.
So these are not real?
No, these are not real. These are just made of fiberglass, I think it is. But these are handmade.
Okay.
A lot of them. So from what I understand, I think all of the rock solid stuff is handmade.
Okay. Is it
So-
a Danish brand?
No, it's it comes from, I think it's Indonesia.
Okay.
But we actually are one of the only suppliers in Europe.
That's cool.
So a lot of stuff gets shipped from here to other stores in Europe.
Now we have some backgrounds over there, right?
Yes. And we've got more backgrounds coming in this week, probably on Thursday. They were held up when the Suez Canal got closed.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been delayed. I think they were meant to be here in April.
Oh, okay. That's quite a large delay.
Start of April. But we've sold a lot of them before they even actually placed the order and before they shipped. And then we've got more things across the car park.
Okay.
Have you been in there?
No, not yet.
No? No. We're going this way.
Now I feel like we're sneaking in.
Yeah, using the staff door.
Yeah.
So yeah, got loads of
It's
stuff
really,
here.
really cool. So this is like a warehouse.
Yeah, but it's going to be a part of the store later on, both for the rocks and for the roots.
Mhm.
Right now you can see there's a lot of aquariums. That's why, because we got another shipment coming in of backgrounds modules
Mm-hmm.
in 2 days. So I'm cleaning the whole storage. It's a 40-foot container with backgrounds. And then later on we want to make sure that we can see the backgrounds over here and the extra rocks and roots. These aquariums have already been sold, so we need to mount backgrounds in them with filters for people.
It's a lot of aquariums.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's about 50 now.
Ooh. Also with backgrounds and filters.
Yeah,
That's
in
cool.
Yeah.
each one of them. So I'm cleaning this one up because in 2 days it will be all filled up.
How many backgrounds are coming?
I think it was 179,
Yeah.
Oof.
and then I think it was about 1,600 modules.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
exactly.
The modules are these ones,
Yeah.
in different sizes. I think it's about 1,600 of
Yeah.
those.
That's quite a bit of material for
Yeah.
aquascaping.
Yep.
Gonna need a bigger building.
But we're exporting it to Germany as well, and to Sweden and everything else. So,
Yeah.
so that's another side of the store.
Amazing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So But hopefully this will be a part of the store.
Yeah.
So we can present the backgrounds and everything else in here as well.
So after a short behind the scenes, Ole also agreed to take us around the shop to explain how filtration systems in the store work, and he also told us a bit more about the oldest fish that he has.
Well, welcome to Unimati. It's my little store, only with aquariums and fish, shrimps, things for scaping. We started about 15 years ago. We've been in this location for about almost 8 years now, always expanding. What we're trying here is to inspire people more than usual, because we're bad traders, so we need to inspire people to buy something.
Yeah.
Over the years we have been doing more and more in aquascaping and botanicals. But we started out with the backgrounds, with the background filters from the solid and cichlids, and now we have all different kinds of fish. In most of our aquariums we have mounted the backgrounds from solid, where we use it as a filter as well. So it's pretty difficult to see, but at some point you can actually see it here. We have the filler materials behind the background. These aquariums have been running for 5 years now without maintenance.
Okay.
Because it's a big filter. So it's all come down to volume, and that's something that we specialize in making for people. We have many different kinds of backgrounds for whatever you want to do it with, rocks or roots or something like that. So it's a very popular system. And also, if you don't want the background, if you think it takes up too much space or ruins your opportunities to scape your own aquariums, you also make them in modules. So these rocks in the aquariums are filters as well.
Okay.
It's what we call a module filter. It's filled up with filler materials, sinking, and then the pump just goes out. So the amount of filter materials in a module is pretty much the same as in a canister filter.
Okay.
Whereas in backgrounds it's much more. Usually in the 250 liters it's about 30 liters of filter. So that's why they can run for years and years and years without maintenance. We only change water, of course.
Yeah.
Water changes, always water changes.
Yeah.
So that's a very popular thing here in Denmark as well.
Yeah.
Not so much outside of Denmark. We're still trying to learn people how to do it. If we have to explain how the background filter works, we have this one of the flat backgrounds. You can see over here, Pat, that you can see the filter material behind it. So actually, this filter is made of 2/3 of these plastic bio-wheels, bio-elements for the coarse filtration. And then we have some filter sponge and some filter cotton and some sponge again. And then on the other side, you can see the inlets where we take in the water. And on the opposite side, we have the pump. Just taking the tube over the background. The pump is always on the bottom. So dirt that won't be what's called composed by the filter runs into the pump and out in the aquarium again and into the filter again. It's like a self-cleaning service. So that's why they can be running for years and years and years. The opposite is that we have, well, we can call it a horizontal filter, so we don't work against gravity. So like a canister filter or the module filters, we have the inlets in the bottom. We have again 2/3 of the bio-elements, and we have some filter foam and cotton. And the pump is on the top. So like a canister filter, we are working against gravity now. So that's why they will clog up at some point.
Okay.
Within maybe a year or two, like a canister filter, and need to be cleaned. Because we can't work against gravity to get the dirt out that is not decomposed by the filter material. So these need maintenance like a canister filter, and do it on a horizontal way, we don't need to do the filters that much.
You're also using the Mutton filters, right?
Yeah.
Can we also see those?
We have those in a lot of aquariums actually. Because here we have the Mutton filters, the Hamburger Mutton filter, HMF. I have chosen to make it on the whole of the background of the aquarium. My plan was to actually plant plants in it, but we are catching too many fish and we threw them off all the time. All my filters are running on air in this part of the store. So you can see here we have the whole sponge, and then we have two outflows running on air. These filters are running for years and years and years and years, because once the Mutton filter is maybe clogged up just behind the inlets of this one, it just uses more and more of the Mutton filter. So these are running for years and years. So this is a 250 liters aquarium. I'm using a filter sponge about 10 centimeters thick, because then I have the ability to cut in the pump.
Okay.
So we can have it all the way up to the side. You can also use it in 7.5 centimeters. 5 centimeter makes not much sense because it's too brittle. It's too difficult to get stuck between the glasses, and also the pump will press it outwards. So perfect system. Runs for years and years and years. You can see that the biggest difference between a Mutton filter and a background filter, they run for pretty much the same amount of years, but the water is more clear with the background filter than it is with the Mutton filter, because these are 20 ppi, so some of the small particles gets through the sponge into the pump and out again. So biologically, the filtration is as good as everything else, but mechanically, the backgrounds take a lot more. So usually you can see it just by looking at it. You see the small particles in here. This is of course a bigger aquarium. You won't notice if it's only a 54 liters or something.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming by, Pat. It was a pleasure. As always, we spent a lot of time here filming everything. I know that you wanted to hear something about the oldest fish in the store. This is a part of my family, actually. You can see it always. It's getting blind now, but it's 14 years old, and it's been with me, pretty much the whole time, because I've had the store for 15 years. So, but I imported that one among a lot of other as a young fry, about 2 centimeters from GF Wraps in the States. Came in 2007. People didn't know them at that time, so I had them for a long time, and then they were all sold. And then I think it was about a year and a half later, I got 2 of them back from a customer many years ago. Unfortunately, one of them died earlier this year, and I can see that this one is getting worse and worse, because like many other Central American cichlids, once they lose their mate, it won't take long, because for the other ones to simply wither away. You say it's broken love, but I don't know. So I think it's a sad day for me when I'm going to lose the last one, because they have been with me for the whole time. So, but it's quite fun to have the fish for that long. They even survived the fire in the store.
That's absolutely amazing story.
So they have done a good job. Yeah. Really, I must say.
So this was Unimati. I don't know about you guys, but I'm mind blown every single time I visit this store. Unimati is a great example of how amazing fish store can be when it's run by people who really enjoy what they're doing. Ole is also super kind, welcoming and knowledgeable person, and I cannot be happier he gave me the opportunity to record his store. I also want to thank Sarah for taking me around, and I cannot wait to meet them again in the future. I hear from many people how great and cheap it is to shop aquarium fish and goods online, but nothing can beat the experience like this one when you come to your local fish store, have a great chat, see some beautiful fish and support the shop by shopping locally. So if you have a way around, definitely stop by and support this amazing store. I also want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, and I'll see you next time.